What's going on, everybody? This is Marc G with the GordonXchange.com. Right now, I am in Southern Theater in Columbus, Ohio with my man Sinbad. How you doing, man?
I like this man. He be gangster. I like a gangster interview. I like him working that.
How you doing,
interview, man?
Yeah, I was kind of stalking you a little bit on Twitter, man. You know, had to try to see what I could do. So I appreciate you doing this for me,
my taser. So ready, man.
I appreciate it though, man. First off, I know you had some surgery recently. How's everything going, man?
It's, you know, I had back surgery. I had these replaced 4 or 5 years ago, but back surgery, I kicked my butt. I had no idea it was going to take this long. It's going to take about, got done November, so it's almost a whole year before I get fully back. But this week, something happened. I finally, I mean, it's still tight, but I could walk without that. I had to put the brace on. I carried it with me. I got it in the bag. I didn't have to put it on.
That's good, man. That's good. Now, I know when you leave here, you're going straight to, I want to say, Atlanta?
I go to Atlanta, Georgia.
Okay.
Yeah.
So are you back out here now as far as touring and everything? Never stopped.
I never stopped since 83. Only time I've ever stopped was 8 weeks for back surgery. That's the first 8 weeks that I've taken off my life. And I wish there'd been a vacation, there was more healing, so I didn't get a chance to go nowhere.
Right. Kind of was sitting around. Tell me just a little bit about, man, you know, like you said, you've been doing this full on for this many years. How do you feel the comedy game is right now, just as far as platforms? Because I just recently interviewed Lunel, and she said she felt like it wasn't a lot of platforms out here.
No. For a young comic, I'm lucky because I got my own audience now, you know, and I've got my thing I do. But for a young comic, they could never do what I did. I just showed at comedy clubs. I could be placed. I was showing at a venue where a band was at. My main thing was bands, because every comic wants to open for a comic. I'll find out, where's the band playing? Because I open for the band. But even that, R&B bands don't have any tours, so you don't. There's almost no option. Everybody's trying to be funny. Everybody's trying to go viral, which means you're competing with every non-funny, no talent person. You're competing with girls with big booties. They ain't got no skills. So it's all become one just big pool of everybody trying to be famous for 15 minutes.
Now, have you adjusted as far as just social media in general? As far as, you know, I was looking at your Instagram page. How do you feel your presence is on social media? Do you feel like, you know?
I do enough as what I want to do.
Gotcha.
I talk to people, I let people know I'm at. My main thing is Twitter, because you can get in and out. You can jump on Twitter and get out. Instagram is just, remember, it's just a picture page. And to me, that's just boring. To put a bunch of pictures up. So I'll put up a poster where I'm going to be at. I'll do a Periscope. You know, I'm just looking at Facebook Live, but you can't do all of them. You lose your dang mind. So, you know, I'll do that. So I'll mix it up. Or I'll get 2 phones. I'll be doing a Facebook Live and a Periscope at one time. Because I was on computers in '83. So I'm a tech freak. So I pick and choose when I want. But you still can't let the tech override what you are. So I look at it more for me, for entertainment, is talk to people, let people know where I'm at, and what my projects are. And other than that, get in, get out, get out of trouble.
Now, way back then, and this is something I didn't know about you, you were military. Air Force? Air Force. Went to the Air Force, figured out that wasn't it.
They figured it out. They figured it out for me. It was Air Force talent show. That had me do this. So cool.
Now, did you know comedy prior to going into the service that was something you wanted to pursue, or did you kind of find that later on?
I wanted to play basketball. I wanted to be famous. I was in bands. I got my bass and my guitar here. I always, music was first. And comedy, I didn't know. Remember, there's no HBO. I'm from Michigan. There's 1960s and 70s. There's no avenue to go. So I thought one day I'd go to Hollywood. So I figured if I played pro basketball, maybe I could use basketball to get to everything. Because, I mean, you saw more basketball players than you saw comedians. I had the albums, but you never saw them.
That's the thing now, from then to now, it just seems like you said, the lanes are all clogged up, too many people trying to get in. I mean, you have more avenues now, but then you got more people trying to do them. So
it's a million comics. But man, you're sitting right now, I don't know how they do it. There's a million. I was in Atlanta. I got a friend of mine moved to Atlanta. I said, I don't know why you moved there. And there's always a black night, super black night, black night. I said, dude, you're a comic. You know, my thing is, I don't care who shows up. When I started off, of course, my audience was all black. That's where I was at. But it changed. I didn't look for them. They found me. So everybody's trying to be in one lane. It's not even a 4-lane highway. Everybody's in one lane. Even stealing each other's material. I've seen 2 or 3 comics go up and do the same material.
The same thing. You and I said on Twitter when I talked to you, I said Walter Oates raised me. How did you transition from, and if y'all don't know what I'm talking about, Walter Oakes, A Different World, which to me changed everything for TV, what I watched when I was coming up, but how did you transition from the stand-up to, you know, TV, and you went on to do movies and, you know, all that stuff that you do? How did you get the transition from the stage to...
You never know how it's gonna work. I always thought I can make this work. I could be a TV. I just, acting to me is no different than anything else. You go ahead and put him up, we're going up.
Cool.
We'll take a commercial break here.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, go ahead and put him up. I'm gonna come right up my act. We're gonna finish real quick, and I'll come up that way. Have a good show now.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Cool. So I looked at was, I said, I can do this. You know, you don't know how you're gonna do it, but I just knew. And not just comedy. I knew I could do drama. I thought I was gonna do drama.
Yeah.
I was a dirty comic when I started, whatever dirty means. But most comics could blend back and forth. And then my dad came to my show, was a preacher, and I said he wouldn't be able to come to my blue show.
Right.
As I knew it, I pushed the limit of being clean.
Yeah.
And nobody even realized I was clean. And once I got to Hollywood, I call it the Curry versus LeBron thing. They go,
Right.
What kind of Negro is he? Oh, he's a nice Negro. I said, oh, y'all thought because I was clean. Then they would have meetings with me, go like, oh, he's military. So that would throw them off even more.
Yeah.
So it was in Hollywood, I'm considered a hard person to work with, attitude. He's difficult to work with people, only because I know what works for me.
Right.
And if you tell somebody, they get upset with you.
Yeah.
Until you made somebody enough money.
Then it's everything, all is forgiven at that point. Now, did you mentioned the whole being a clean, quote unquote clean comic?
I hate that title.
And I was gonna say that somehow attached itself to you early on.
Yeah.
And that's something that even to this day that you're known for. Do you love it, hate it, indifferent? You know.
I'm a comic, and I put myself. It's like he's a point guard. I'm LeBron. I'll play point. I go down low. I don't care what. You know, I can take your dirty routine and make it dirtier than you ever thought about it. I can take your dirty routine and clean it up and finally get a joke out of your dirty material that wasn't funny. So I facilitate whatever I do.
Okay.
I thought people would see the other side of me because when I did movies, I said, man, I'm gonna play gangsters. I'm gonna play super agents. I said, I'll play everything. Yeah. But they wouldn't even hire me for that. They want me with the kids. I said, man, look, I gotta shoot somebody. Yeah. Y'all gotta let me kill somebody. So, like, yeah, can I be a cowboy? Let me be something else for a second.
Yeah. I honestly though, like House Guest, for me, that's one of those ones over and over. I just watched it over and over and over, and it was just one of those things where, man, I felt like you said, I could tell that you could do it all. I didn't see, you know.
That was my learning process. House Guest was a terrible script.
Yeah.
And I said, this is the best they're gonna give me?
Really?
It's okay. I got to the set with my man Phil Hartman. I said, man, I'm gonna be changing most of the stuff. Just roll with me.
Yeah.
Phil Hartman, man, he's so funny. And because we're opposite, it worked.
Right.
And what happened is the director, his girlfriend wrote it.
Okay.
And she wrote me over the mouth of the words. I'd be doing something different. She was like, what are you doing?
What are you doing?
I'm trying to make this funny.
So I was working with Phil, man.
Oh, man, Phil was cool.
Yeah.
And I didn't trust the comedy. I was doing comedy, and the director was complaining. So I would go to the dailies. What you do every night, you go look at what you shot.
Okay.
And one Sunday, we had Sundays off. This little girl came to me and said her daddy was the editor on the movie. She goes, my dad wants to talk to you.
Okay.
So he took me to this building. He said, I want you to look at this. And I saw me, and I laughed at me.
Yeah.
He said, I'm only sending the funny stuff. He said, get some sleep.
Yeah.
I saw quit going to dailies. I said, I am funny. I am correct, and I'm not wrong for what I did.
Right, to change things.
Yeah, I wasn't wrong.
Now, switching gears just a little bit, you said that, you know, they get you in a room, and it's like, okay, I didn't realize he was that military.
Yeah.
I was watching you tweet, and you follow what's going on in the world.
Yeah.
What do you think we need to do? Just to do better, be better? Because it seems like it's just chaos right now.
We're just a violent nation. We don't like anybody. We don't like ourselves.
Yeah.
It's like there's no respect. Everybody gonna diss me. Everybody's so busy trying not to be dissed. Everybody's so busy trying not to be dissed that we're quick to jump. Man, just get on an airplane. Everybody's cutting you right off. No one says, excuse me. No one say, hey, man, go ahead. You go ahead in front of me. I'm going to be right behind you. The airplane's right here. It's not going anywhere.
Right.
But everybody, I got to jam my bags up. I got to take all the space. I'm like, and then you find yourself, I was getting to the point, I was getting riled with people, pulling bags out of the overhead. And I'm just like,
their energy
gets you caught up.
Yeah.
So I had to take it down a notch.
Yeah.
I just had to calm down and say, you know what, man? There is that thing when they say love trumps everything. Like my boy said, Lynn Miranda said at the Tonys, love is love is love. We hate so much now. There's so much hate in this world.
So easy
in Trump's campaign, he played on hate. And I don't think that was his whole card at first. I don't think he had a whole card. They showed up. So it's not so much him. I'm looking at the people that follow him.
I mean, when you start out and say, you know, Mexicans are rapists, that was early.
And I thought people were going like, oh, they jumped on
it. Yep.
Oh, he found the trigger.
Yep. Fearmonger,
He found the trigger.
That's crazy. I usually ask every comedian that I talk to their top 5 comedians. It's so funny that you're here now because you just came up not even a month ago. I interviewed Tony Roberts out of Detroit. You were in his top 5. So it's always interesting for me to hear other comics' top 5, and some people can't narrow it down, but who would you say either your top 5 or had the most influence on you?
For me, it's always that generation came before me. So I look at Bill Cosby. I look at you know, Red Fox, because I did a show when I first got Red Fox. He had such influence on me. Flip Wilson had a big influence on me. Red Skelton, Red Skelton had a big influence on me. I look at Jonathan Winters, you know, and Nipsey Russell, who I watched, had a big influence on me, and George Carlin. You know, those guys. Well, Richard, you know, Richard's like almost automatic. It's like Dr. J.
Yeah.
He's automatic on the list.
Yeah. You don't even put him in the conversation.
No, you don't put him in the conversation. He's automatic. And Cosby should be the same way. Cosby, we shouldn't even clog up the top 5 with Cosby and Richard, because nobody can top that.
Just let them have their own.
It's like Jordan, LeBron. Which one's the best? Don't matter.
Exactly.
Don't matter. Whichever one going to the other team. Yeah.
But that's all I got, man. I know you're getting ready to go on stage right now. Just tell the people where you know they can find you, social media, what you got coming up. All that
I'm on all social media. I'm Sinbad Bad. Sinbad Bad on Instagram, on Twitter, man, on Periscope, on Snapchat. I never go there because nobody over 10 should have a Snapchat. But I just do it to see who show up.
All right, man.
Cool, man.
Sinbad, the GordonXchange.com, and we out.